Ladies and gentlemen, as I've been saying for months now, if you're not going to listen to anything else, you need to listen to this. The macro range on Bitcoin right now is not just a couple of horizontal lines stuck together. It is a macro range that stems backwards from cyclically relevant resistance and support lines from the 2017 cycle and also the 2021 cycle, forming the current major macro resistance and support. You can see the support acting as support where I'm circling, and the resistance, of course, acting as resistance where I'm circling right now, and also in the vague region right here. That is mainly, and there are other reasons, but that is mainly the reason that Bitcoin ran into resistance on the 23rd of May. Since then, we have been going downwards, but that downwards move is not existential. It's not a major fatal threat for the entire health of the bull market because, of course, we are still in the exact same macro range that the move started from. It is only a local correction, and as far as I'm concerned, a bullish local correction. Now, there's various levels that Bitcoin could have or could continue to go downwards to on this correction. Levels that have stuck out to me as important are 96,000, being the POC on the volume profile. Doesn't really matter if you don't know what that means. It just means there's a very, very major support level shown by a very, very influential indicator. 96,000 being one, 93,000 being another, of course, because it's the bottom of the macro range. But another level, which perhaps I didn't give enough attention to, I did mention it a few times though, and I can almost certainly say most people didn't get enough attention to, is 100,000 US dollars, which is, of course, a major psychological support zone on Bitcoin. Being a round number, being obviously in reality just a big number, but mentally in the people, in the minds of the people, in the minds of the investors in the market who obviously drive the price action, who set orders, buy orders and sell orders around that price region, $100,000 is massive. And that has been proven to us as Bitcoin has bounced from that level, opening up a new opportunity for Bitcoin. Can it just continue upwards from here? Well, it's not a basic question to answer. There's lots of avenues we can go down here. In fact, Bitcoin could be forming a head and shoulders pattern right here. But I think that if we put that into context with the larger pattern, something actually reveals, or I should say something is revealed to us is much bigger and much more insightful. So I'm going to look into a few things today. And most importantly, I'm going to look into what needs to happen for Bitcoin to continue to the upside. It's more nuanced than just breaking 114K. There is actually a level within this potential pattern right here that Bitcoin needs to break in order to continue to the upside that we all should be watching very closely. Long introduction. But I think that introduction was filled with information as well. Just before we dive into the content, I'm going to take 45 seconds of your time here and show you a couple of things which might be useful to you. First and foremost, ask me a question about the market. I'm doing a Q&A video tomorrow. If you have any questions about Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins that you want to ask me, I will answer it in video format in my next video. So go ahead to my YouTube community page and ask me a question under this post right here, and you can get your question answered. It's very good stuff for you guys. It's very good stuff for me as well. I get to see your opinions, what you guys are thinking about the market. And I'll also mention as well, we've just launched our VIP group, okay? Wolves of Crypto VIP. Go to my channel homepage and click the join button, or click the join button under this video, and you'll see all of the perks that you can get with VIP. It's not just a fancy logo, okay? It's actually altcoin trading signals 4 times a week with a 77% win rate over the course of 3 years, all tracked and all public. It's permanent access to a VIP group chat, and it's much, much more. Very good stuff. I highly recommend you join there if you're interested. Not sure how long I'm going to be running it. Doing a trial period here on YouTube. We've done it on Telegram for 3 years. We'll see how YouTube goes, but definitely something you want to get into. And the last thing I'll mention, I know it's a lot, 3 things mentioning before the video starts, of course, is the Bitunix exchange. 15% trading fee discount available with my referral link down below. 3 years on the market, never been hacked before, and global non-KYC. Use that link down below to sign up, get the discount, help out the channel, and help out yourself. Guys, with all of that said, a bit longer than 45 seconds, but we'll get into the content. Short-term price action from a traditional perspective right now on Bitcoin is an absolute freaking mess. If we look at the short term, we look at the 4-hourly chart, we have patterns upon patterns upon patterns. We have a descending channel formation in white, which have just broken to the upside, which was actually layered on top of a bullish pennant formation, which actually broke to the downside. So we faked out from the bullish pennant. Within that fake out, we formed a descending channel. And after that descending channel broke to the upside, we're actually back into the bullish pennant in pink. So I think we can remove this descending channel formation for the meantime, make this pennant formation again the predominant structure. But furthermore, we're going to actually draw in this horizontal resistance zone between around 106,000 and 107,000, specifically 106.7 and 107.3. That is what I mentioned in this introduction, the level that Bitcoin needs to flip, in my view, to bring back confidence in the idea that this move will continue to the upside without further impediment. I'll say that in English because that was quite a sophisticated sentence. We need to break this zone here in red for Bitcoin to continue upwards, in my view, or for us to have faith in that move upwards. Right now, I still see Bitcoin in a position of correction. And the reason I see it like that is because right now what I see is a neckline at 100,000, and built upon that neckline of support, built upon that foundation of support, a potential head and shoulders pattern. In order to invalidate that head and shoulders pattern, which suggests we move downwards right now, we need to break above the maximum height of the right shoulder, which would be this red rectangle right here. So if Bitcoin breaks that red rectangle, it's not only breaking above the bullish pennant formation, it's also breaking above what would be the bounds of its head and shoulders pattern, and hence invalidating that head and shoulders pattern and continuing upwards. So if Bitcoin breaks, let's say 107.5 thousand, let's say 108,000 to be safe, we are, in my view, very much in a decent position to start attacking all-time highs once again. Now, I want to make this clear. I don't think that it is the end of the world if Bitcoin actually corrects further here. Although it would be annoying because we don't have that long left in this cycle, it's not the end of the world. I'll tell you why. Let's go back to this chart here that I mentioned at the start, and let's actually go ahead and delete all of this stuff here. Let's get a clean chart minus these macro levels. Let's actually delete the macro levels as well. Screw it, right? All we need is the bottom one. This is our macro support range. This is the level we need to hold in order to hold on to the bull market itself. So assuming that Bitcoin is in a potential head and shoulders pattern right here, and assuming it actually fails to break that head and shoulders pattern, which I'm not sure of, I think it could certainly break to the upside right here without going down further. But even if Bitcoin does break this head and shoulders pattern further, if we're measuring the measured move from the neckline of the pattern, from the top of the pattern and applying it to the breakdown zone, we're only going to be going to around the bottom of the structure. So we're not actually guaranteed to break down at all from the bull market support line. But furthermore, I suppose we could do a more in-depth analysis. There is an argument to be made that Bitcoin is actually in one big, massive inverted head and shoulders pattern. It's the same pattern that we looked at right here, but just inverted. Therefore, it's a bullish pattern. Now, if that is the case, okay, knowing that the left shoulder, the first shoulder we formed, retested and held this macro support zone, the second shoulder would do the same. We also know that macro support zone is a very critical support region, not only because it actually maintains or holds the key to, let's just finish this sentence for God's sake, holds the key to holding the bull market, if that makes any sense. But also because around that price region is what we mentioned at the start of the video, the POC and the volume profile. It's just an area of very, very intense support. So even if Bitcoin, this is my main point here, even if Bitcoin is in a short-term bearish structure and it does continue downwards further, within that continuation to the downside, we should see an eventual bullish resolution, as that downside continuation would be part of a major macro bullish structure that would eventually lead in a bullish resolution and continuation upwards. It would just delay the move upwards by about a month or at least a few weeks. So I actually do think either way Bitcoin's in a good position. I do think either way Bitcoin will be seeing all-time highs. I think that this time next month we will probably be at those all-time highs regardless of what happens next. Obviously, it would be preferable if Bitcoin was to just break out right here, right now. That would be great. Breaking 108,000, sick, we'd be good to go. But if it doesn't, that's how the cookie crumbles. One of the reasons why I think it'd be particularly good for Bitcoin to break out right now is because of the altcoin market. Now, although Bitcoin, I think, as I established clearly, although I think Bitcoin's in a good position regardless of what happens, I think that altcoins do kind of lean more towards wanting Bitcoin to move right here, right now. And that's because I look at the Ethereum chart, which is the leader of the altcoin market, and I see Ethereum consolidating very heavily and compressing very heavily between its bull market support band in orange and its 200 moving average in green. And if I'm thinking about what Bitcoin would do if it went downwards another 10% before going upwards again, and I'm thinking of the effect on altcoins, the effect on Ethereum, we could see Ethereum ruin this compression. We could see Ethereum break down from this compression zone, which I see as a very important trigger point. And of course, if you're compressing in a cryptocurrency market, if you're compressing on a financial market in general, that compression is an opportunity. When you hold a beach ball under the water and you let go, it doesn't just come to the top, it comes to the top and it bounces outwards as well. That's It's exactly what's happening here on Ethereum. We're compressing for about a month now. And if we do eventually break out, it's not just going to be a small breakout, it's going to be an explosion like when that beach ball bounces out of the water after being compressed downwards. And Bitcoin correcting too heavily could ruin this compression and hence ruin that opportunity for Ethereum and hence ruin that opportunity for the altcoin market. Because when we're speaking about Ethereum, we're also just indirectly talking about altcoins as it is the leader of the altcoin market. So although Bitcoin is in a comfortable position regardless on a macro scale, and it can technically go downwards and it wouldn't be a problem, for altcoins, that drop on Bitcoin could be a problem. So I do want to see Bitcoin just move upwards from here. That would be great. And I could actually drag this video out another couple of minutes by saying the exact same thing about the total cryptocurrency market cap chart, but my conclusion would be the same. Neckline of support right here, and Bitcoin going downwards too low could break that neckline of support and could ruin the opportunity we have here. We've got the 200 SMA, which is held on multiple occasions, holding once more and being flipped for support. This is a great opportunity to move right from here, right now. Hopefully it happens. Not necessarily for the sake of Bitcoin, but for the sake of altcoins. So big stuff coming up. It's undeniable. And of course, I will keep you updated as the charts progress. I'll just mention one more time because it is, of course, the first day of me having this VIP group. You can go to my YouTube channel homepage, click the join button and get access to altcoin trading signals. VIP group chat. Go ahead and do that, guys, if you're interested, of course. I'll mention, of course, again, the Bitunix exchange, a global non-KYC exchange that's never been hacked before. It's been on the market for 3 years, so that's an incredibly good track record. If you're interested in joining up, again, it is global. With my referral link down below, you can get a 15% trading fee discount attached to your account for life. Appreciate you guys watching the content. Leave a like, comment, all that stuff. Have a good one.